Getting camp set up for the night. Got out here a little bit late. Got the sleeping bag and the cot all squared away. My gear for tomorrow morning's hunt. Some coffee. And about to start the fire. I've got my hatchet, but I forgot my hammer. So, just gonna use a good stout wood block here. Right now I just got a thin piece here. I'm just cutting up some kindling to get the fire started. And then I'll be cutting a little bit larger pieces. And larger pieces, close to this 2x4 leftover scrap. It all needs to be cut to a right size because this wood burning stove, you need to have the right size wood in there, or else it'll either get too congested and not enough airflow, or if you have too small of stuff continuously, it burns up too quick and the fire will go out. And then when you feed it again, you have to start from square one. You can't put in a bigger guy to get it going. So when you're working with a small wood stove, you've got to go small, medium, large, and then continue that fire throughout the night. So once that fire is really going, and before I go to bed for the night, I'll put in something like this that's really good, good size after I have a big bed of coals in there. So as you might have saw in the last video, hammering this hatchet with a piece of wood, it just wasn't doing the trick. So what I did was I took the hitch receiver off my truck, pretty heavy, stout guy. We're gonna see if we can improvise and use this as a hammer. It's working all right so far. It ain't always perfect, but a little intuition, it'll get the job done. So when it comes to assembling the firewood before ignition, a couple things to think about. You'll notice here, there's a grate along the bottom, which allows airflow up. And so what we want to do is we want to put couple solid pieces here, and so that our very light tinder all the way in the back doesn't just flash off and fall down through the grates. But we do want the grates there for when the fire is going, and so you've got airflow to be able to draft up. And that hole in the back right above my finger, if I can get the camera to focus, that is the chimney. And so you want to have this firewood set up and prepped all the way towards the back. Now you could do it old school and cut down real fine tinder, or you can find some pine needles, really dry, small, thin, crackly stuff, which I have in there. But I also have these little fire starter cubes, and you can get about 100 pack of these, and I think each one of these is 4 or 5 cents. This will burn for about 5 minutes and will absolutely get the fire going based off the kindling size wood that I have already in there. So we're going to light this, stuff it underneath some of the kindling where there's airflow underneath, burnable, flashable material above it, and then hardwood on top of that flashable material. And this is going to get a quick hot fire going, and then I can start adding thicker pieces of wood to really get the fire roaring. And I've got this little poker stick to maneuver this in position and then bring down the wood that's needed on top of it. We'll give that a minute to burn, and in the meantime, I'm going to shut this door to allow the drafting process to go up the chimney. So air is going to be sucked in here on a pressurized rate, and that's going to really burn and ignite the flame in the wood, and then it'll suck up through the chimney there. This mechanism right here, this is a flapper valve, so it can either be flat like that where it won't allow any drafting, or it can be open, and so smoke can go up there. And you can already see we're getting some pretty good embers and a fire going in there. This is the successful and quick way, surefire way to get a fire going in a wood burning stove. A little bit of prep work, but it'll get the job done, and you don't need to repeat yourself, especially on a cold night. Just a reference for you data folks out there, we just started the fire, and the ambient temperature is 44. The truck was reading 46. It's come off a little bit, and the humidity in here is 86. I will check back in with you in a little bit to see how much this has changed, and I will have a timestamp to see the difference in timing from this video to when this thing really cranks up. In the meantime, while that fire is going, pour a little bit of coffee here. And enjoy some reading out of the good word. As promised, it's been about 15-16 minutes, and wanted to give you a read on our numbers here. We started at 89% humidity. We've dropped to 42%. Our temperature was 42 degrees Fahrenheit. We've come up to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So that is a 50% move in either direction, reduction of humidity by 50%, and an increase of temperature by 50%. "45 minutes after the initial read, humidity has dropped down to 22%, and the temperature inside of this hot tent is 109 degrees. Might be sleeping in the nude tonight, 'cause this is warm."